Sorry, I farted.
I like that intro.
Enough of that, man.
It's everyone.
I fart sparkles. Did you know that? They're all over the house.
Well, how's it going, everyone? How you guys doing tonight, today, wherever you're from in this beautiful world, as I always say. And welcome to another Beer and Cheese. Whoops, there's my phone going crazy. Forgot to turn the volume down. Just want to say, yeah, we're doing another Beer and Cheese. This one is an open one with alcohol. So any alcohol, I totally forgot. Would have gotten something else, but got a beer instead. So yeah, we're gonna do open alcohol or whatever and cheese. And just want to say thank you to the panel and cheers to Lori Sparkle, Art by Sparkle, we'll call her Lori, Miss Lori, and Bumpyisms, Mr. Bumpy. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Cheers to the community as well. We got Art by Sparkle, hello, and we got Kettle Heads. Cheers, Kettle. Cheers, man. All right. So let's go ahead and do the show and tell first. I'll go ahead and bring Sparkle up. Here we go.
All right. Well, I have a nice little surprise for everybody today. I'm doing the Ish Wesh Kolsch by Mr. Beerman himself. And I'm real anxious to try this. I understand it's a little bitter, but
the other one is, sorry.
Oh, okay, the other one. Okay. Yeah. This is 4.9, it looks like, percent. IBU 26. And it was poured on 14/24. So we got a real nice newbie here. And for my cheese, thought I'd try something a little different. This is Winesdale and cranberries. Hadn't tried this one yet. And it is pretty crumbly, as you can see. So, you know, I'll just sort of be picking and eating. All right, so let's just pour this, and I hope it doesn't overgo because I kind of had it on its side, still with the styrofoam around it, just to make sure it was extra cold. Thanks for this, Beerman. Oh, so far so good. All right, let's see what we got.
It's foamy.
It is foamy. And look at that beautiful color. Oh, nice. Let's see how long that had lasts. But that's beautiful. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Cool.
Okay. And there you have it.
That's it. All right. Cheers, Sparkle. Let's move on to Bumpy.
Let me unmute myself. Got the dryer's going and the dogs want to come in and out. So I figured I'd mute myself. Anyways, for the cheese that I'm bringing.
Are you there yet?
For the cheese that I'm bringing, it looks like this. Cut up. Looks like butter, basically. And it is imported from Ireland. It's Tipperary, however.
Nice.
It's an Irish cheddar cheese with Irish whiskey, and that was the price, $5.99.
Awesome. Good price.
I did not forget that it was bring any type of alcohol night, so I figured, hey, if I got a cheese that has a whiskey in it, let's do that. So this is from Redwood Empire. They're out of California.
Nice.
Sonoma County, California. I'm not sure if that's north or south, but I think it's north. Probably north of California. And this one is called Lost Monarch, which is like supposed to be like one of the biggest redwood trees or something like that.
Oh, cool bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
As you can see, I have had this before tonight. Go ahead and give that a little pour, and I'll tell you something.
That had a nice tight cork.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think I paid something like $40-something for this bottle. It was a $50 bottle. It had like, I think I got $6 off or something.
I don't know.
It's at least 3 years. It says blend of straight whiskeys. Lost Monarch is a blend of straight rye whiskeys and straight bourbon whiskeys aged at least 3 years. Aging our barrels in the temperate climate of the Northern California coast allows for a slow and even extraction of flavor, producing a whiskey of exceptional balance and complexity. The ABV on this, it is it's 45% alcohol, so it's going to be 90 proof. Yeah, I don't see the proofing, but yeah, it's 45% alcohol, so 90 proof.
Awesome. Perfect.
Nice.
The whiskey in the glass looks like this. The whiskey in the jar looks like that.
All right, man.
Hopefully
that
they
works out.
blend together. Cheers.
Cheers, dude. All right. Here we go. Mr. Beerman here. Hi, Tommy Flatbat and Jason. Cheers from Sparkle. All right, so the cheese I'm going to bring is the easiest one I could ever do. I was looking for ever and ever and ever, and I went to a totally different, like one of these hippie kind of markets where they have better cheese. And I ended up with Face Rock's cheese curds with the 3-pepper cheddar.
Love cheese curds.
Love them. I love them. So I was going to do an IPA with this. Well, let me show you. You can kind of see the
Beautiful.
everything in there. Yeah. See how they smell. Yeah, they smell great. So I don't know what this is, to be honest. I don't know if it's an IPA base. I don't know. I wanted to do a Westie, but everyone does Westies with cheese curds or, like even a pale ale or a lager of some kind would go well with it. But I was looking at this and it says it's from Gigantic Brewing out of Portland. If you've ever heard of them, they're pretty good. They have some pretty good beers. This one's called Poison Waters Beer Mosa. So it's like a mimosa with orange and pineapple puree in it. So I think it might just be like an ale, I don't know what it is. It doesn't say what the base is. But it is a proceeds from the Weird-tastic series of beers are donated to Weird Portland United. Because keep Portland weird is like the slogan of, that's why you get weirdos and a lot of over there. But this is what it's called. Let me show you it.
Oh my God, I love it.
It's really artistic and cool. 5.9%. And then the back it has all the info and that little thing, Weird Portland United. So
gorgeous.
Weird-tastic series beer number 7, they say. Really cool label, actually. It was
flatten that out and send it to me.
I know. It's on the can.
Yeah.
I'd have to cut the can.
Just flatten it out, send it to me.
Yeah. So it was can 312. So January, March 12th. Let's open it. In my Guinness pint glass. Nice and carbonated. So probably like a fruited ale of some kind. I don't really know, but it's very a lot of effervescence, bit of a haze. Oh boy, that smells kind of like a Goza, actually. So that's cool. All right, well let's go ahead and let's bring Sparkle back up and get her full review. Cheers.
Okay. All right. Well, the foam has dissipated. However, it's pretty. Reminds me of some of my paint pours when it gets all lacy like that. I like
Yeah.
it. I'm going to pour just a little more in so I don't have to stick my nose down so far. Because that's a problem. All right. Well, it is absolutely a beautiful transparency. Oh, that's a weird fragrance. Kind of a dull perfume, but I can smell some if my snifter is doing okay. Let's see. A little bit of pineapple maybe. Um Hard to tell on that one. I don't know. It's probably my snifter. It's been off for a bit. Well, let's just take a taste, man.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's kind of delightful there, beer man. Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm tasting a little bit of citrus. The bitterness I'm thinking might be coming from a little bit of citrus rind. There's something else in there though. It's almost like a little bit of a allspice or something that's fragrant, but it's not pungent. Okay, and there is some bitterness left. Boy, you got me stumped there, beer man. Just a hint of vanilla, but not a lot. It's thin. It's not heavy at all.
Right.
Which is nice, and it can be very refreshing. A little bitter for my taste, but it's still very pleasant. Beer man, you have to help me out on some of the other tastes that I should be getting. Um,
Um.
there's almost like a cottony linen
Oh.
taste. You know, I know it's weird, but if you ever sucked on a sheet, it's like, but it kind of smooths it out a little bit. It does end with a slight sweetness on the back and on the tongue afterwards. So clue me in on this one.
So it has a little wheat malt in there. It has a little bit of victory malt, which is like a biscuity kind of
Okay,
thing.
yes, that's what
Yeah,
it is. It's the
little
biscuit.
cracker. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the biscuit that I'm getting. Yes,
Right.
exactly. That sweetness that
Yeah.
kind of mellows things out. Exactly right. Thanks for that because I couldn't put my finger on it, but definitely a little bit of that biskiness. And I
Hmm.
don't do biscuits a lot, but now that you say it, I can definitely tell that one. That's pretty cool. Mm,
Belma's in that too. It's got a little strawberry berry kind of essence in there,
yes.
but I don't get
Yes, a
that.
little bit
Yeah.
of the berry. I can sort of get that hint of the strawberry. Very light, but it kind of goes in there and settles it out. And that is cool. Sorry, I had to ask for some cheaters there, but
That's
I'm still a little bit off balance. But I like it. It's refreshing and it's
yeah.
light, which is really nice. I'm kind of curious to try it with this cheese because this has the cranberries in it, and I'm
Oh yeah.
thinking I can do the cheese now, right?
Oh
It's
yeah. Go.
been
Of
a couple
course.
weeks, so I get
Yeah.
a little bit
Oh,
lost.
you can totally do it. Yeah. You're
All
good.
right. So this is pretty crumbly. Let's see if I can smell it and taste it without going all over the place. Oh man. Yeah. I can smell those cranberries, which is great. And it's a very mild type of cheese, almost like a not quite a Gouda, but a very light cheddar, kind of like a cheddar with cream cheese, like when I do my cheese balls and mix the cream cheese with the cheddar. It kind of brings that cheddar down. Yeah, that's nice, and I think it's going to go well with this. Let's give it a taste here.
Cheesers.
Mm, that's delightful. Definitely is a sharper cheese taste than I thought it was going to be. Kind of like a cream cheese that you add a little bit of the cheddar just to bring that um, softness out, but not go overboard with that cheese flavor. And that is nice. And I'm thinking it might go well with this. Let's see what happens. I'm going to do cheese before beer.
Cheers.
Jesus.
Jesus.
That is nice. It coats the tongue a little bit, but it's easy to get off. It doesn't stay there and stay coated like some of them do.
Mm.
That's interesting. It added some sweetness to the beer. It didn't take away the beer flavor. It did. I'm not so sure it enhanced the cheese, but it blended pretty nicely. So that cranberry and that little kick of the cheese kind of blended together. So you get it, you really can taste both, which is really nice, which I was hoping for because I wasn't sure what to expect with the beer. So I'm gonna do some beer and then the cheese and see if it makes a difference. Hopefully it'll blend just as well.
Beer's cheese.
It's almost a corkiness with that beer. That's weird.
Yeah, it's different for sure.
It does blend nicely. The cheese definitely stands out. I mean, that overpowers the beer.
Mm.
So if I didn't know that I had some beer first, I wouldn't have known it. And that's okay. But if I want to pair it and just really have a nice melding like at a party or my house, which I do that a lot. I think I would do the cheese first, so I could still get a little bit of that beer lingering to mix with it. It's a really nice pair because it does bring down it. What it does is it brings down the bitterness, but adds a little tartness.
All right.
And that makes it really pleasant. And so I don't know if that's the case with all of the cheeses with some fruit in it. I don't know about the goat cheese because, as you know, I just started doing that. Just starting getting brave enough. But the cheese before the beer, excuse me, does kind of. Ooh, that was interesting. A little burp there. Oh, that blended it nice. Sorry about that. But it is. You really get a much nicer blending with the cheese before the beer, and the other is just the cheese left over the other way. So, but it's pretty cool. I mean, I think this beer, because of its bitterness and the wheat, I think that it goes well with a fruited cheese. So that it kind of levels things out. If you're not a big bitter beer sipper drinker, which is where I'm at. So anything to kind of add a little bit to that, the citric rind kind of thing. Anything that has like a little fruit in the cheese, I think really helps round that out. They're great separate, but I think it goes great.
Awesome. Oh, that's good.
And the hummingbird is whispering in my ear. Okay, we're good.
Poking its thing in your ear. Yeah. Oh God, does that hurt?
No, actually, he just whispers sweet nothings, and I'm happy.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Sparkle.
Yeah.
Cheers to you. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to Bumpy.
I've been nibbling on this cheese, and I definitely I've had it before. I couldn't remember if I had it before, and I ate it. I'm like, oh yeah, I've had this. So, anyways, let's get some aromas on it because I'm definitely going cheese before whiskey. It's got a little bit of a kind of a funky smell to it. There's like a sweet butter, a little bit of some whiskey notes. Maybe a touch of like a barrel, like a woodiness, but there's like a slight kind of honey and a spice. All right. That's about it. That's all I can really smell out of the cheese. Let's eat some cheesers.
Cheesers.
So I got to kind of separate the flavors from the whiskey that was added, the Irish whiskey that they added to it. The cheese itself is it's buttery, creamy. Might be a little bit of a nuttiness to it. It's not a super, I'd say it's a very mild cheddar. It's not a big funky cheddar. Let's eat some more cheese.
Cheesers again.
I'm going to talk about what the whiskey's adding. There's definitely there's a bite to it. There's kind of an oak presence. There's a little bit of I'd say it's kind of almost, it's not like really caramel. It's kind of like maybe a mix between caramel honey type note. Then there's a peppery bite to this, like black pepper that lingers on. There also seems to be like a hint of almost like an alcohol flavor. You can taste like the whiskey. I was looking at the package. It doesn't state there being any alcohol in the cheese itself. And they add the whiskey right to it, though. So I don't know.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. Whiskey. Cheese.
Yeah,
Sorry.
All right, we're gonna do this Redwood Empire Lost Monarch. The aromas. Sweet and nutty. You breathe deep, you definitely get an alcoholic burn in the nostrils. It kind of reminds me of pancakes a little bit. It's almost like a buttery syrup.
Nice.
Well,
I'm getting a little bit of cherry, slightly medicinal. So there's like kind of a slight kind of sweetness to it. And then there is definitely a cherry fruity character with a bit of a spicy and nose burning alcohol. Let's dive on in.
Nice.
For a little sip. Cheers.
Cheers.
Suburban.
I got wonky internet. Suburban.
So it's not too hot. I mean, this isn't like a fresh cracked bottle either. The nose lend you to believe that it's going to burn your throat a bit more. It goes down real smooth, so it's not too hot. The back end, the finish definitely is a cherry Robitussin type flavor going on.
Oh boy, I had enough of that.
Ooh, slightly oaky. Little hint of vanilla, a little bit of nuttiness up front. After you get that Robitussin thing going on in the back of the throat, it definitely warms up. It's starting to get like there's a lingering warm finish to this. Yeah, there's kind of a little flavor of like a rye spiciness that lends into the finish. Yeah, that's it. I think the nose may be a little bit better than the flavors. You know, picking up that kind of like almost pancake type stuff, and a little vanilla and oak in the nose, along with the cherry and stuff like that, medicinal cherry. But this one, it seems to be a bit more. Yeah, it's just that nutty kind of like nuttiness. It doesn't really get into anything that reminds me of like a pancake syrup or much of any of that. It's just kind of slightly nutty, and then starts to get a little spicy with the finish of cherry Robitussin. So, but it's pretty smooth for 45% ABV. Let's eat some cheese and drink some whiskey.
All right. I don't have any banners for that. So cheers.
Bourbon.
Chaduncle.
Burr cheese.
Burr cheese. Curious.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I mean, the bourbon definitely takes over on that cheese. I think that the cheese maybe just adding a little bit more of that kind of black pepperiness to it. I am getting the lingering kind of like oak notes from the cheese. That is definitely coming from the cheese. It's kind of that black peppery oaky note from the cheese that lingers on, and I have the warmth and everything from the whiskey. But yeah, the cheese, the whiskey out of the cheese definitely comes up to battle at the end. The bourbon kind of wins in the overshadows the cheese in the beginning, but it does make its way back around again. And so you have lingering flavors of both items. It may have been better to do it with an Irish whiskey since that's what's in this, but oh well. It's blending. It's a bit different for sure. So now we're going to do the whiskey and the cheese.
All right. Whiskey.
For cheese.
For cheese.
That brings out a sharpness out of the cheese. I wasn't there before. Taste the cheddar now.
That's great.
A little bit more of a bite to it. Sharpens it up. I'm chewing, swallow, and now the cheese is starting to come through with that finish with the oaky black pepper. This way, I actually like eating the cheese after drinking the whiskey. or bourbon. It's bourbon whiskey. So
It's funny. I don't often do cheese when I'm doing bourbon. And, because I don't think about it like I would with like beer. I usually do other kind of appetizers, but that's really good to know that doing that cheese with it, can make a difference.
yeah,
Totally.
it definitely works. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't be blending cheeses with bourbon
Right.
and whiskeys, whatever.
Right.
And
No,
yeah,
that's good to know.
there's a
for
whole
sure.
thing. There's a whole list of like different bourbons and cheeses that go well together and stuff.
I did not know
I
that.
had no idea. Yeah, that's crazy.
Cool.
Cheese is just like an all-around thing to eat with alcohol.
It is. Yeah. But I
Cheese
never
and
thought
fruit.
about looking at the pairings of those, like I have with the beer. So that's excellent information,
It is. I'm glad you did that.
Me
Yeah.
too.
I'm happy with the outcome.
Me too.
That's brilliant. Awesome, man. Well, thank you, Bumpy.
There you go.
And on to myself. All right, cool. I kind of wish I would have brought something. I wish I would have brought wine. I have a bunch of wine in the fucking fridge. What the hell am I thinking? Anyway, we're gonna do this because I opened it already. So that was really cool. I am so glad you did that, dude. All right, so this one is Weird Portland United Poison Waters Beermosa. So it's got they say tangerine and pineapple puree, delivering an easy drinking and juicy experience. So this is what it looks like. It just looks like a hazy, West Coast kind of style hazy or something like that. It smells on the nose. It's got a really nice like white fluffy head, and the effervescence is still just going crazy. Very white head. Okay, so I definitely get a sour, like a tart aroma with almost like a cotton candy.
Oh.
You get the tangerine, you get the pineapple mixed together, and then it's got wheat. Definitely is in this. I almost want to say this might be an American wheat ale. I don't know though. It could be a Goza or a Berliner Weiss, maybe, possibly. Yeah. Looking at it though, again, just a golden, hazy golden, straw golden, light gold color. It's see-through, but it's hazy, so like more of a chill haze, but a little more than a chill haze. But let's go ahead and let's dive into this. Cheers. I'm curious.
Cheers.
Yeah, that's an American wheat. It has to be. It does have the fruit tardiness from the puree, like from the tangerine. You're getting that like tart tangerine kind of orange. But now I'm wondering, because I'm getting a real crackery flavor here, like Pilsner malts, honey cracker, biscuits. It's first of all, it's very soft on the mouthfeel. It's warm too. It's very warm. It needs to be colder. It was out too long. The body is, I would say, light, drying on the finish, and kind of like a tart, like not really tart, but like just a dry feeling on the tongue as well in the front. Kind of tastes like Captain Crunch
I was
cereal
going to say, is it kind of like a graham crackery?
or graham crackery. Yeah, there you go. But not so Grammy, like
Right.
more corn like.
Okay.
Like it's
More
Captain
like
Crunch, right.
Papa.
it's almost like it's a like a lager, like a Pilsner lager, or a American lager base or something like that, like a hazy lager. And I think the haze might have been, I think the fruit puree might have contributed to the haze, because otherwise this would have just been a clear beer. It really does taste kind of like an American lager. And I think that I was thinking wheat, and then just going back and forth. God, that's really hard. I wish they'd tell me what the fuck it is. But at this temperature, it's like 60 degrees. It's 55 probably. Yeah, it's really warm. But and it's so soft, and you get the fruits, and it's nice. That cracker though comes in the finish more. Um, Kind of an herbal, lemony, orange, tangerine, kind of pineapple blend of fruits and citrus. So other than that, I mean, there you go. That's that. It's not the greatest beer. I don't think that it is, but we'll find out if it pairs well. But let's get into the cheese. So this is Face Rock's curd cheeses or cheese curds, curd cheeses. With I got burp, spicy 3-pepper cheddar. So I don't know. Let's see what peppers it has. So it has habanero, habanero, and sweet red peppers.
Oh boy.
Let's
Come
get
on,
some
ice cream.
So that one's actually got their sweet red pepper on there, with some seeds and all that. You can smell that. You smell the peppers along with the cow milk, real milky cheese curds. Nothing flavorful. Just has a dousing of peppers mixed on it. I think they didn't make it in it. I think they just kind of put it in there and stirred it around. Yeah. So, but yeah, let's cheeser it up. Cheesers.
Out for that pepper.
Jesus.
Oh, that renedy kind of like sour cheese. It's not really spicy yet. Has a sour yogurty kind of taste to it or something. Kind of squeaky. And very milky. I'm getting the pepper, the jalapeno and the habanero is kind of like coming through on the sides of the cheek, on my tonsils, in the back. A little sweet vegetable pepper or something from the sweet reds. Very good. This is really good. Face Rock makes some great cheese. I really like Face Rock's cheese. Yeah, very good. Let's go ahead and let me get another spicy one, and then do some cheese before beer. Kind of dry. It's a bit dry, like a dry cheese. Like they're more. Some of the ones I've had are a little bit more wet and squeaky. This wasn't. It's not so squeaky, but it is. But it's a little like drier. Oh. All right. Cheeser.
Cheers. Cheesers. The cheese.
That cracker comes out. Hey, cracker. No, that I am a cracker.
You're a cracker.
No, this is it's not bad. The cheese brings out, so the pepper's still there. The heat's nice. I think it would have maybe gone better with like if I was gonna do a lager, it would probably be better with like a little more bitter like Pilsner or something like that. Or maybe a light pale ale or something along that lines. So you can still taste the cheese and all that. But I mean, I'll go over that in my last thoughts. But it's not bad. It's bringing out the it's like you're tasting saltine crackers with salt and all that. The cheese giving the salt, of course, and then the beer bringing out more of that crackery saltine kind of thing. Beer before cheese. Not trying to rush, but that's really all there is to it. Let's go ahead and have some beer.
And some cheese.
And some
Move, dog.
Oh, that's cool though. Kind of pronounces the cheese more. The cracker kind of goes away, subdues, then brings out the cheese. And the cheese is so light too with the beers that it takes away the fruity flavors from the beer. leaves a little bit of cracker, but then that cheese starts to come through. That nice cow milky kind of sour curds. Like it's kind of like a sour milky kind of cheesy kind of flavor, and then with the peppers residing on the back of the tongue, towards the tonsil area, towards what I used to call the waterfall, which is basically your esophagus. But yeah, down the spout, not bad. You want to have more beer though to kind of wash it down. Nice. That the fruits come out, and then I forgot to mention cheese before beer. The fruits come out, but then it goes away, and you start to get that cracker. It goes well together, but it's not like my preference. It's not something that I would probably do again.
Not a strong marriage.
Yeah, not a strong marriage. So I'll definitely repeat this in my last thoughts, but there you go. That's it. All right, so let's go ahead and do our last thoughts. Let's bring our great Sparkle up to the panel again and see what she says.
I'm chewing. I like the beer. Beer Man, it's not my favorite of yours. It's a little thin for me. I think that doing it with cheese is nice because adding that cheese, especially with the cranberries, it adds a little bit of the sweetness to the bitterness. If I were to choose one of your brews, it probably wouldn't be this one, just being honest. However, it is refreshing, and I would definitely want to drink it really cold.
Yeah.
Putting the cheese with it was a really nice pairing. Like I said, it adds a little bit of sweetness to that. And I would definitely do the cheese after in order to do that. But you risk just tasting the cheese and hiding that whole beer flavor. So, you know, I'm not sure how much cheese with the beer would kind of balance that. It did make a nice balance. It did add, take a little bit of that pithiness, that bitterness out. And it is a beautifully clear beer. It is beautifully balanced. There's no question about that at all. And for my personal taste, based on the other ones that you have made that have been incredible, and I'm trying to get away from my faves, with the chocolate and the caramel and the vanilla and all that good stuff and the coffee. I'm trying to, get away from that so I can experience what it's like with some of the other ones. And it's a beautifully done beer, and I will say that. That being said, I would probably put it about a 90. And
Nice.
Based on the beers I've had from you, based on other beers, I would probably put it at about an 85.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
but it's still a great beer. The clarity is fabulous. It maintains a nice balanced flavor. And so I think you've got a great one here, honey. I really do. And so that's kind of where I stand. I think it was a good choice of the cheese, especially with the cranberries that kind of balanced things a little bit. And that was great. I think I picked a good one for that pairing. And I think it would go good with other appetizers too. If I just wanted a beer to kind of fill me up or, whatever. It's not the type of beer that I would probably choose to drink a lot as a thirst quencher because it doesn't do that for me. It would have to be really ice cold. And I'm not even sure if the flavors would come through enough to be a real strong thirst quencher. But it is a delightful flavor. It is a delightful taste. So that's where I'm at with that.
Well, thank you. No, that's awesome scores. Those are still great scores for the style. So awesome. Thank you, Sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to Bumpy. isms.
On to a different whiskey now. I guess from Ezra Brooks 99. Just trying it out. The bourbon that I chose to do it with surprisingly works better with the cheese than what I'm doing right now. So I mean that's a positive.
Oh, wow.
For the Ezra Brooks for the Redwood Empire and the Lost Monarch, they have another one out there. It's called the Pipe Dream. I think I'm more of a fan of the Pipe Dream, and that's a little bit of a cheaper.
Bring it up again. We'll vote on it.
It's like less pricey too. I think they're around the same ABV. But I would still place the Redwood Empires, the Lost Monarch, in the very good range of the bourbons. I've obviously enjoyed it. So it's one of those bottles that I don't want to just like drink it all right away and let it vanish. I've had that bottle for I've had it at least 3 weeks now, which I don't have like a crap ton of bourbon. There's people like, you look at Tanner's bourbon shelf, he's got like a lot of bourbon to choose from. I mean, when I have like 3 or 4 bottles, I'm going to drink something. So, yeah, if I had the issue of having like way too many bourbons to choose from, that would have more bourbon left in that bottle, because it would be one of those ones where it's like I like it enough that I don't want to just drink it as like a nightly drinker. It's more of like a have a pour every now and then, because I kind of enjoy it a little bit more than the lesser bourbons. I mean, I'm not even a big fan of cherry. I'm not a big fan of cherry to begin with. And then when it becomes cherry Robitussin, like I don't like Buffalo Trace because it's huge on that cherry Robitussin, like medicinal cherry note. It's huge on it. This one at least is kind of just the finish for the most part, so it's okay. I can deal with it, and kind of becoming accustomed to it. And amazingly, it worked very well with the cheese. So I mean, the pairing between the bourbon and the cheese, and if that's something that you guys haven't tried, definitely give it a go with bourbon and cheese. It works really well. I think at least this experience worked better than a lot of the beers and cheeses that I've done. I've had a few beer and cheeses that was like, wow, this is like spot on. And for the first time doing a bourbon with cheese, and it was just fantastic melody. This cheese, it's one of those, like, I like my cheddars to be really sharp. I like them to really have a depth to them. Just eating this cheddar cheese itself, there wasn't enough depth out of it. It was kind of just a loose, kind of like I said, creamy and nutty type cheddar. It wasn't bringing me down anywhere. It was like kind of a mildness to it. But I mean, that allowed for the whiskey, the Irish whiskey that they put in to kind of shine through. And that it came out nice, with that kind of barrel aged flavor, the black peppery type notes, even having almost a little bit of a whiskey booziness, getting a little bit of that kind of honey, maybe a slight bit of caramel that you might get out of an Irish whiskey shining through. The amazing thing was having the cheese after drinking the bourbon, and then noticing, oh wow, there's a sharpness to this cheese that I wasn't getting by just eating the cheese. I really dragged out that sharpness. I really like sharp bite out of a cheddar that I really enjoy. So now eating this Irish cheddar cheese with Irish whiskey from Tipperary, I think it's a very good. I'd say it's a very good cheese. So I had two very good products. I didn't have anything I think that was excellent, but besides the pairing, I think was definitely an excellent level. But yeah, it's a cheese I've definitely had before because that flavor note, it brought back all those memories.
Nice.
Because
Awesome,
I'm looking at it because I've had a few from Tipperary. I've had the wine one. They have a wine infused one, which is really good. So sparkle if you haven't had that.
Yeah, I'm going to try it for sure.
Yeah, so it's Tipperary. They're Irish. And the
Yes.
wine one has all those veins.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's got all the veins. They also have a porter one, which is really nice as well.
Ooh,
Yeah, they did it with a
excellent. Thank you for that
Irish
tip.
porter. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it's porter beer. Yeah. Okay.
Is that a pun? Thanks for the tip.
Thanks for the tip. Yes, it was.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah.
Cool. Where are those? Where's Tipperary from?
Imported from Ireland.
Oh, it's an Irish cheese. Okay.
Distributed by Abbey Specialty Foods.
Huh.
It's brought into Fairfield, New Jersey.
Where did you find it?
In my local grocer, Market Basket. It doesn't say like where they're actually out of from Ireland though.
Right. Nice.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right.
I'll have to check it out because I think I've had one Tipperary and I really liked it. And yeah, I think I'm going to check that out. Thank you.
Well,
cool. Maybe I can find them. We'll see. But no, thanks, man. That was a great.
You always check Amazon. They got everything.
Yeah, that's true. Huh? That's true. All right. Thanks, Bumpy. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers to Miss Piggy just showed up. Thank you for showing up and hanging out with us. All right. So we'll go over the beer first. The beer was just not really my favorite. Like I was saying, I think personally it was like an American lager kind of base with some fruit added. Is my thoughts on it. It wasn't terrible. It should have been drinking cold, just as Sparkle said. A lot of the lagers definitely should be served at like 45-ish, right out of the refrigerator. Bam, take it down.
Right.
The lower the ABV, the colder. The lighter too. The lighter the beer. Take that thing down quick.
Right.
Well, not quick, but you know what I mean. But not bad. I mean, for them to introduce tangerine and pineapple, it was kind of cool. Kind of tasted. It was all over the place in my brain. I didn't know. It was going everywhere. I was thinking Goza. I was thinking Berliner Weiss. I was thinking Pilsner. I was thinking this, thinking that. But besides the fact, the cool can art was awesome. Keeping Portland weird is cool because Portland has a lot of weirdos there. But I actually kind of like it because I'm a hippie myself. Sorry to say that if you don't like hippies, but I'm not a hippie. But I like that kind of crowd thing. I was a big deadhead, so it is. You used to go to the parking lot parties all the time before the show, or get a miracle ticket to go in and all that shit. But yeah, so good stuff there. Enough, not bad. I would probably say the beer is probably on the 82, 80. We'll go 80. I like 80. Definitely scores a B in that range, maybe a high B, mid B kind of thing. The cheese was good. I thought it was really good, actually. It did have a little bit of a sour kick to it. I never really got like sour from other curds that I had. Not so sour. I mean, all cheeses kind of have like a somewhat of a tart or something like that in there. Well, to some degree, not really. Not all cheeses, but this one definitely had kind of a sour side to it or a tart side with a nice spice that builds up in the finish. Starts to kind of, as you eat more, it's just like, oh my God, that's getting hot. But very nice cheese curd for sure. Just a straight cheese curd with peppers added. Very cool. $7.99. It was a little spendy. I wish I would have gotten this at Fred Meyer. Probably could have gotten it for like $5.99. I went to this crazy store where they charge you outrageous prices in Yuppie Land, USA, in Cannon Beach. So there's that. But sorry for anyone that's a yuppie. The cheese pairing, the cheese before beer was good actually. It wasn't bad. It brought out the biscuit, the cracker, or more of a cracker kind of saltine thing, which is really nice. I would rather have the cheese before beer, I believe is what I said. I hope that's what I said. But I think it went married a little better than the beer before the cheese. It did bring out a little more fruity, kind of citrus things. The cheese before beer. No, cheese before beer. Excuse me, cheese before beer, and then beer before cheese brought out a little more of the. I'm probably confusing myself. Fuck.
I'm
It's
confused.
Welcome to my world.
It's confusing. It's confusing when we do it like back and forth, but not bad. The pairing. Oh, the cheese. I didn't give a score. I would say the cheese was probably like a 90. Just a very good beer, a very good cheese. You see, confusion. But the pairing, probably more on the lines of like 80 again, maybe an 80 all the way. With that, yeah. So we're like 75, 80 all together with everything. So anyway, enough of my confusion. Oh God, that was fucking hard. Anyway, let's go back to this. Let me take the let me move you up here, and I'm gonna take the banner off because that's usually what I like to do when we do our shout outs. So let's go ahead and do some shouts. Shout it out. Go for it.
Yes, Beer Man, the struggle is real.
Yeah. Damn.
So I've been a little under the weather, but I, interestingly enough, being in the hospital was a great networking tool. And I did meet some nurses that actually were artists. I'm waiting to get their links because I want to do a shout out to them. One of them happens to live down the street from me, ironically enough, and does amazing portrait artistry, among other things, on huge canvases.
Wow.
So I'm anxious to get a hold of. He doesn't have a channel, but I'm still going to try to find a way to share all that info because he is really incredible. I'm going to be doing something a little bit new. I'm going to start doing a little bit more resin art, a little more. Shit, I did one thing, but now I'm going to do some more resin art. I have an auction coming up at the Elks Lodge locally to benefit veterans, and that's this Saturday. So I'm kind of anxious to see what happens with that. I will try to video those resin pieces. I'm really excited. I spent a lot of time in the hospital watching resin videos, so I might be able to get somewhere with it. Other than that, I don't have any other shout outs except to please check out my channel, Art by Sparkle, because I am doing some 2 more collaborations this month, and where we're going to be doing some really fun stuff and interesting and pretty, hopefully. So I ask you to check those out. They're toward the end of the month, and I think the last Sunday and the third, well, next weekend, one of them, and then another one, I think it's the last Thursday. But stay tuned and watch for that on my channel, and I think you'll enjoy it. And I appreciate all of you checking out my channel and giving me support. I'm not in it for the monetization. I'm in it for the fun, and I'm in it to just show how cool it can be. So, but I appreciate you all, and thanks, Beer Man, for having me up.
Yeah, I love your lapel. Is that what that's called?
That was gifted to me by a secret admirer. I have no idea where it came from.
That's
And
great.
another one that says sparkle with a heart on it. I don't know. It came through Amazon, and I have no idea who sent it, but I
Oh
absolutely
wow,
adore it. So
that's
I
great.
appreciate
Yeah,
any gifts or whatever. So that was great. Thank
cool.
you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Sparkle. On to Mr. Bumpy's.
All right. I'm gonna shout out somebody that lives close to Alex the Beer Master and BJ. Those are two great channels as well, so check them out if you don't know. But I think everybody already knows both of them that watches Beer Man. So I'm gonna shout out Rick Beer Man. Go check out his channel. That's it is Rick and then Beer Man together as one word.
Cool dude.
And yeah, he does some really nice beer reviews. He's got some hard to get brews as well that he's done on his channel. It's one
Oh,
that
wow.
Josh from Last Beer always raves about, and this guy's actually got it and reviewed a beer. I can't even think of it. I think it's called Truly or something like that. They're out of New Jersey. I guess they basically sell all their beers by the time they put it out the post that they have the beer available.
Nice.
So yeah, on my channel I got I'm now Bumpyisms because I'm not just doing just beer stuff. I got my beer reviews I'm putting out. Maybe one day I'll get back into homebrewing. Who knows? We'll see.
I hope so.
Love your pizza
We
reviews.
got frozen pizza reviews going, which is working out pretty well. I've been able to find out kind of what pizzas work and stuff like that. Tomorrow, I'm going to be watching my grandson, and so I'll have him early. So I got to put him down I got to get him lunch and stuff, And I said put him down. I put him down for his nap, but the thing is, we have lunch first, and then he goes down for his nap. So I'm gonna I have a nice frozen pizza ready to go because he likes pizza, just like his Bumpy, and we're gonna have some frozen pizza. I'm gonna cook it up nice, and it's just a cheese pizza, but I'm gonna throw some little basil and maybe a little bit of thyme and stuff on there, give it a little sweetness, and he should hopefully enjoy that. I told him it's gonna be the best frozen pizza he's ever had out of this household. Because I gave him some crappy frozen pizza before, and he still said yum. And I'm just like,
maybe this will be yummy.
This stuff is gross. He's just like yummy. Pizza. Yeah, I got those frozen pizza reviews coming out. I do have one eventually coming out that I did with John and Nelly. So look forward to that. It was a very interesting pizza. It was called Beach Pizza. And I have some cooking stuff that I also put out every now and then when I do maybe do something out on the grill or the Blackstone. I might throw up the camera and record my cooking process. So
love those.
That's everything. Cheers.
Yeah. Excellent, man. Yeah, so you're not going to be eating the whole fucking pie this time.
Yeah, no. Well, there's a few that I just couldn't. I mean, there's been some that were just too gross that I was just like, I'm not doing it. Then there's other ones. There's one
those
coming up where it's like
those are pretty funny, actually. Those are funny to watch.
Yeah, there's one coming up though that's like it's a huge pie.
Well, that's
and
right.
Like, and it was like my dinner, and I still couldn't finish it. It was too much. I mean, it was a family size pie, and yeah, I took a break. I took a long break, and I came back to it. And I microwaved the last slice just because it was super cold at that point. So I microwaved the last slice. It didn't taste the same. I'm just like, I'm so full anyways. I'm like, this is just hurting me. So I'm done.
You do it for the cause, Bumpy, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks, Bumpy. Thanks, Sparkle. Yeah, so I'll just start with the two that I think should, some people I like to shout out today. This guy needs more attention. Definitely. It's such a fun show to watch. And Bumpy, you know who I'm talking about. And this is Squatchy Brew Dude. Man, the guy, he just put something new up. He goes everywhere with his wife and his son, and meets up with people. He might even meet up with you, Bumpy. He might meet up. Fuck, he might even meet up with Sparkle. He might meet up with me. You know, I said he was coming out to Portland again, so he comes out here quite a bit. But the dude's cool, man. He does. He just visits breweries all over the U.S. and he's always looking for people to hey, check out my stuff. He doesn't feel like people are looking at his stuff, and the guy deserves it. Yeah, so
put
much.
the link up. Can you put the link
Oh
up?
yeah, I actually copied it. Let me. I was gonna
Yeah,
paste it. There we go. So there's Squatchy Brew Dude. Check him out. Subscribe to him. A very fun guy to watch too. He's like just so happy and funny. So
right. I just
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Good. All right.
Nice.
What did Tommy still miss Pierce after? I know, dude. I miss a lot of your shows, Bob.
That sounds like something Josh would say.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Another one that I like to watch, and he's close to me. I know there was some falling out somewhere with some people. I'm not going to get into details, but that's not what this is about. This is about me sharing out someone who I think's got valuable information and stuff that I like to listen to, and that's Northwest Small Batch Brewing. He's out of Portland, Oregon, and he actually would like to visit me sometime, check out my setup, and maybe try some beers on tap that I have or whatever. Maybe go to some local breweries around here, or I go to Portland and we check out some breweries that he likes. But there's this link there. Subscribe to the guy. He's a pretty knowledgeable home brewer. He puts out a lot of shorts and stuff, like little tips. He has these little tips he does every Thursday or something.
Nice.
And seems to know quite a bit about what he does and about home brewing in general. So
Nice.
kind of cool. All right, so I guess as far as like my show, Beer and Cheese Tuesday, one today. Tomorrow is 8:00 Eastern every Tuesday. Next week will be a beer and cheese. So we got 3 weeks of beer and cheese before we do another one of these open ones. And then tomorrow is All Spun Out at 6:00 Eastern, 3:00 Pacific. And if you had some adjectives given to you and you weren't able to show up on the show, just bring the beer. Bring a beer based on those adjectives. But we spin a wheel at the end of the show, and you get 3 adjectives. You go and find a beer based on those words. And I don't care if it's even just one word, because I'm guilty of it too. So don't feel bad. Sometimes you can't find all the words in a combo. But I wasn't able to this time. I just found one word. But so bring that tomorrow. It starts kind of starts our day of drinking and having a good time. Of course, Eric's shows after, and Jay's show, Ron Therio's show as well. So I'm just trying to think of things right now. I've got Schwartz beer I'll be putting in June 17 for the AHA, American Homebrewers Association competition for Portland. And it's going real well. It's been in over a week now, about a week and a half. And it's I put it up on Facebook and on my Instagram, a picture of it, of what it looks like so far. I did put some gelatin, some fining agents to kind of clear it up, and it's doing really well. It's sitting at about 34 to 36 degrees in the cooler, lagering and cleaning up real well. So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, check those pictures out. And you can see, I'll put up a timeline of what this beer looks like. I'm the kind of guy that likes to go in and try it every week just to kind of see. I am a weirdo like that. But anyway, beer reviews I've been real slow on. I do have 2 beers that I did recipes for. I'm going to be doing a Kolsch again, but I'm going to be doing it more by the way of how it's actually done. Well, using noble hops, using Germanic kind of. It's a German beer, so it should be German, Germanic like, and that's what I'm doing this as, just for my own sake. I want to see, kind of the difference between what I brewed to this, to see if I can kind of, because that was my first one. And then Brain Police is Nipa with Zappa hops and Ilani, as well as El Dorado and Nectaron. So it's going to be really peachy and stone fruity and
Nice.
and just real. Hopefully it comes out really good. I've been lowering been lowering down on the hops to not get so much vegetal green matter and all that green burn, so I can enjoy it right off the bat instead of waiting for it to kind of die down. But it's just, I was pouring in like a lot of hops, man. And it's just, I don't know. It's hard. That's a hard beer to brew. A Nipa's a hard beer to brew, perfectly. And it's difficult, but it's rewarding. And that's what I love about brewing beer. That's what I love about just the rewards of seeing it and then having other people try it. That's the one thing I like to see. And I think that's what keeps breweries going, is just seeing. I got goosebumps. Like, that's how I feel about this. Seeing how people respond to the beers, sometimes they suck, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're average. It's just how it is. But everyone has their taste preferences, and it's cool. So but that's that. And it's been a lot of brewing. I'm gonna actually be doing a lot of brewing and just send out to like one random person. I'm not gonna mention anyone. I'm just gonna be like, here you go, and then we'll do a panel together or something, and try it out. But yeah, look out for those in the future. I am going to I'm still going to September 4th. I'm going to Boston, and then I'm going to rent a car and try to drive around and meet these guys here, Mr. Bumpy and
Nice.
as well. So
you better move to Arizona. That's all I can say.
We're thinking about it, man. Well, I am. I don't know if my wife wants to.
Hey, give me your phone. Give me your phone number.
I will. I'll get. I want to go to
tell
Tucson.
her all the advantages.
I want to go to Tucson is what I'm thinking. Would be kind of cool. So I don't know, that or Mesa. Mesa would be fun. But yeah. So that's that. That was a long shout out. I'm sorry, but just want to say thank you first of all to the community for showing up. You guys rock. Thank you so much for supporting the show and our channels as well on the panel.
Thanks everybody.
Yeah, definitely. You make this work. So, as well as my panel members, thank you very much, and cheers to Art by Sparkle and Bumpyisms. That's their channel names, Lori and Bumpy. I don't know if Bumpy wants me to say his real name, but there you go. But yeah, so
only a few will know.
Yeah. So, but that's that. And thank you so much. All right, so here it is, the outro. You guys have a good night, day, wherever you're from this beautiful world. Thank you for joining, but not after one more sip.
Yep, I got a little sip left.
Sweet. All right. Cheers, everyone. I love beer. It's so good. I like whiskey too, but not too much. Cheers.
Me too.